is the Next Level Loan Officers podcast. To learn more about Next Level Loan Officers, go to becomenl.com.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another podcast here from the Next Level Loan Officers community. Man, what an amazing time we're in right now. And Sean is joining me today. Thank you, Sean, for being here. And Sean, you and I did a podcast recently where we talked about the Next Level community and the change that we've made. And so if you're listening to this and you didn't hear that, go check out that episode because it is just chock full of all kinds of stuff that we're doing here at Next Level to equip you loan officers to be successful in this crazy market. So check it out. Head on over to becomenl.com. Again, becomenl.com. You can see all the features, check it out. And even, Sean, I don't know if you know this, but they can even sign up for a 60-day free trial.
We continue to make Next Level more and more affordable and provide more and more value. Amazing. Great concept to use in your business, in your market, and to provide for your realtors and borrowers as well, too. So, hey, we're going to roll today. Like, this is going to be a little bit different. I get to put on my nerd hat a little bit. We get to have this fun conversation between Kellen and I, because there's been so many things that have happened in the market recently. And I want to share a few of them with you so you kind of understand what's going on and get it from the loan officer perspective, because it's our job as loan officers to take the information of which is designed to be 80% negative. Why is it negative, Kellen?
It's always negative.
Because it's always negative, because it sells, because it bait click. People click on the headlines.
People love it.
And so it's our job to take that news and really break it down. So we had rates. I mean, we've had a lot of jumps in rates, but over the last couple weeks, we had rates jump a significant amount again. And something really crazy happened in the UK. The UK 2 weeks ago, they cut taxes. They removed impending tax rates, tax hikes. And this is really like, who cares? It's the UK. Well, it matters because what happens in the rest of the world matters to us. It affects our rates. It affects our stock market. It affects mortgage-backed securities.
Yep.
And so in the course of 4 days, Kellen, do you know how much the 10-year treasury, whatever their equivalent of the 10-year treasury is over in the UK, you know how much it jumped in 4 days?
2%.
1%. But crazy, ridiculous that it jumped 1%. Now, the good news is we didn't jump a full percent over here, but we jumped about 0.33%. So rising rates, not good for us in the mortgage world, but hey, everybody's got to deal with them. So, when we cut taxes and increase stimulus, KV, why does that make our rates go up?
Well, because you potentially are driving inflation at that point with putting more money in people's pockets by cutting taxes.
Yeah, I mean, potentially you were 100% driving inflation by doing that. We all know inflation is the arch enemy of bonds. It's the arch enemy of fixed rate security instruments. And that, unfortunately, is not good for our market. So one of the things that we've talked about a lot inside of Next Level in the past few weeks is really how to get ahead of this news in the market. Explaining to people how things are global, how they're interconnected, talking to our realtors and potential clients about it. You were talking about the other day, Kellen, that you got a purchase in, you told somebody what the rate is. They already had some sticker shock. And then by the time you went to lock it.
Well, yeah, I mean, the reality, and I'm sure I'm not alone in this boat, but we disclosed a loan, right? It took the borrowers, I don't know, let's call it 24 hours, maybe 36 hours to get through the disclosure, sign it all to where we could actually go and lock it. And I mean, the market moved 100 basis points between those two dates. And so, it just sets you up to be, to be in a backpedaling situation, which is never a good spot to be.
Yeah, borrowers are really understanding about that, aren't they?
Super. Everybody loves paying more. So the lesson in that, the micro lesson out of this podcast in that event is, listen, always, 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 over deliver and under promise, right? So all those kinds of things, and you'll have happy clients.
Yeah. And so if you want more ways to overpromise and underdeliver, all you got to do is go over to becomenl.com. That is www.becomenl.com. And you can find more tactics on how to do that for yourself. There's some other things that are happening in the market. And the other micro lesson that I really want everybody to take away from this podcast is you make the news or somebody else does. And so you got to make the news for your clients. And the beautiful thing is that the talking heads in the media give you ammo every single day. And usually the ammo they give you is negative, that you can go out and talk about doomsday, or you can break down what's really happening. Something else that came out last week, Case-Shiller home price index.
Yep.
Worst drop in history ever.
Of
that was the
appreciation.
headline.
Yep. Of home value, right? Was that it?
Of home, yeah. The biggest month over month drop from June to July.
Yep.
And that depending on whether you were looking at the 10-year or the 10 city average or the 20 city average, it went down from like 17.1% to like 14.6. It was about a 2.5% drop. I mean, I feel like I'm doing my best Macaulay Culkin right here, man. Oh my God, dude,
that's significant.
It's significant, but it's still up 14.6%.
That's right.
We need the cooling of the markets.
Yeah. Well, and that's what the Fed is honed in on, right? So out of the last inflation report that they got, where was the hot spot? Where was the lingering ember that it was in housing? And so that's going to be a focus for them. And, they've talked about running MBS off their balance sheet. They're not doing it yet.
No, they are. They started $8 billion a month. They've already started.
They've started, but they're not, God forbid they just dumped it, quickly, but they are going to run it off. But it's going to be at a reasonable pace to not completely swamp the boat.
Yeah. It's a reasonable pace, but just even in February and March of this year, they're so far behind the 8 ball, or they were so far behind the 8 ball. They were still buying bonds then.
Yeah.
It probably should have been a year before that they stopped buying mortgage-backed securities and stopped buying treasuries. We know it should have been at least 6 or 10 months before that we shouldn't have. They should have started raising rates. That second stimulus check probably wasn't the best thing for the markets.
Yeah. And you bring up a great point, Sean. And in all of this, right, is an opportunity to educate your sphere, whether that's realtors, whether that's title agents, whether that's buyers, sellers, whoever it is. We're going to wrap up this podcast here in a few minutes, and I'm actually headed off to go teach class over at a title company to some agents. That is really like my entire presentation is almost nothing but headline clippings, right? As we tell the story of kind of where we are and where we're going. And to your point, who's going to be that voice, right? Well, I want to be that voice for them. I want to be that celebrity expert authority in their market who is talking to them at the title company, who is posting about this on Instagram, who is doing live presentations on Facebook, because I want to be in my market. I want to be that guy who's known as the guy that knows what's going on, right? And if you're a loan officer and you're not paying attention to the news and you're not following along, and a borrower or agent calls you and goes, "Hey, Kellen was just telling me something over here at the title company. What do you think?" And you go, I don't know. Yeah, great. Where is their faith going to be, right? Where are they going to feel comfortable sending their clients for great advice? Well, they're going to send them to me because I at least give the perception that I know what I'm talking about.
which all you have to do, it's funny, Frank Abagnale said it when he was teaching everybody, imitating being a college professor. All he did was read one chapter ahead.
That was
If
right.
you read one chapter ahead and stay just a little bit ahead, you can teach the whole world and the whole class on how to be successful, how to dominate and control the market, the media, the news, and make this positive spin. Because every loan officer out there, there's two types that I see right now, and most aren't really great. One has their head in the sand, imagining none of this is happening. And the other one's even worse. They're perpetuating all this negative news. Like, it's great as loan officers. We need short-term memory.
That's it. Yeah.
A year ago, we were firing on all cylinders. Now we're not. We're in a little bit of the struggle bus. But these cycles, they're 18 months at the most. Typically, we're not that far away from the market turning, popping in your success. So be that person, be that light in your market. Spin the news the right way. Talk about these headlines, how they are actually positive. Lowering inflation's great. Home prices cooling, still appreciating a lot, but cooling, they're great. Explain some of the things that are happening that are affecting the macro market. I guarantee you, you'll win.
Even a recession, right? Like the R word is okay, because for our industry, in markets that are strong, it's going to mean lower interest rates, right? And hopefully that's all it means, and it's not, deeper and wider than that. But that remains to be seen. Did you know too, Sean, that in our community app, you can get rate alerts, right, and market insight, and that's all included in the $197 a year program that we had. Like all of that for $197 annually, not monthly, annually.
And you get that even with your 60-day free trial, you get market rate alerts?
You do. Yeah. We do all kinds of stuff in there. So ton of value there. But I think to your point, Sean, this is a great opportunity. Let's leverage this data, right? Let's leverage the fear in the market to some degree and just be a source of steady education, right? I had a realtor call me the other day, or text me. I don't remember. And this is a true story. And they said, hey, are you going to make it? Like, are you going to make it in this market? And I was like, was there some kind of crazy diagnosis rumor on Facebook that like I got hit by a bus or the leg amputated? Like, I didn't know what she meant. And she's like, no, in this market, like, are you going to make it? And I was like, that's so bizarre to me that people even like think that. And maybe she's projecting, right? Maybe her fear is she's not going to make it, and she's wondering if I'm going down too. But the reality is I'm going to be here, right? To your point, we're weathering a storm, and we just have to make it through to the other side where life's going to be good again. So, yeah, use this data, use the information to equip your sphere, your borrowers, your realtors, everybody else that you do business with, and be that authority. And Sean, I appreciate you giving us the nerd spin on it.
So guys, come join us. It's free. Go to becomenl.com. Get your 60-day free trial. Plug in. See what the other side is all about. And let us help you. Let us change the community. Remember, this isn't banker versus broker. This isn't us versus them. This is loan officers thriving, sticking together, getting down and dirty in this tough market, and making sure that fintech, that the Zillows, the Quickens, those people that want to absolutely eliminate us from the industry don't gain market share. Because right now, those companies are hurting too. They're struggling. They don't have the refis. They don't have the credibility. And this is our time to go gain that market share. They don't have the knowledge to affect news in the market like you do. So becomenl.com. Go check it out. Kellen, it's always a pleasure. By the way, remember, Next Level Loan Officers Podcast, the #1 podcast for loan officers, by loan officers. Friends, we'll see you on the other side. Peace out.
See ya.